The message arrived on Earth in the dead of night. Admiral James Reed stared at the holographic projection, his weathered face illuminated by its pale blue glow. Representatives from 17 galactic species stood before him, their alien forms translating to something his human mind could comprehend. "We need your help," said the lead diplomat, a tall being with iridescent skin. "The Void Hegemony has conquered 3 systems in as many months. Their warships are approaching the Alliance core worlds." Reed's expression remained stoic. Humanity had been part of the Galactic Alliance for barely 50 years, newcomers by cosmic standards. The other species had welcomed them cautiously, impressed by human ingenuity but wary of their unpredictable nature. "And you come to us now?" Reed asked, his voice steady. "After centuries of keeping us at arm's length?" "We have no choice," admitted the diplomat. "Your species possesses something the rest of us have evolved beyond." "And what's that?" "The warrior spirit, the willingness to fight." In the Alliance's 10,000-year history, war had become a distant memory. Most member species had engineered aggression out of their genetic makeup, focusing instead on art, philosophy, and scientific advancement. Their defense systems were automated, their weapons theoretical. The Void Hegemony, a collective of predatory species from the galactic rim, had exploited this vulnerability perfectly. 3 days after the message, Earth's United Defense Force launched Operation Thunderbolt. 500 warships, carrying humanity's finest soldiers, accelerated toward the front lines. Lieutenant Anna Miller watched Earth shrink to a blue dot through the viewport of the UDF Relentless. At 32, she never expected to fight an interstellar war. None of them had. "You think we're ready for this?" asked Tom, her weapons specialist, voice low enough that only she could hear. Anna's hand moved to the worn photograph in her pocket, her daughter, Lisa, smiling beneath an oak tree. "We have to be," she replied. The human fleet arrived at Proxima Station to find chaos. Sleek Alliance ships, designed for scientific exploration, had been converted to makeshift combat vessels. Their crews, brilliant researchers, and diplomats, looked at the humans with a mixture of hope and unease. Admiral Reed addressed the combined forces from the bridge of his flagship. "The Alliance gave humanity a place among the stars," he said, his voice carrying across thousands of communication channels. "Today, we repay that debt. The hegemony thinks they'd found easy prey. They're about to learn what happens when you threaten the humans' friends." A roar of approval erupted from the human ships. The Alliance commanders merely exchanged puzzled glances. The first battle occurred at Vega Prime. The hegemony's black ships emerged from hyperspace, their hulls bristling with weapons. They expected minimal resistance, another easy conquest. Instead, they found the human fleet. "Fire at will," ordered Admiral Reed. The UDF vessels attacked with a ferocity that shocked both allies and enemies. Human tacticians had studied every scrap of intelligence on hegemony technology, identifying weaknesses their Alliance counterparts had missed. Anna's squadron led the fighter assault, weaving through enemy fire with reflexes honed through endless drills. On her command, they targeted the enemy flagship's propulsion systems. "For Earth and the Alliance," she called, diving her craft beneath the enemy's shields. The hegemony retreated within hours, leaving behind the wreckage of a third of their fleet. An Alliance scientist approached Reed afterward, her expression troubled. "Your people fought with enthusiasm," she said. "We fought to win," Reed corrected. "There's a difference." The war continued for months. While Alliance species provided technology and intelligence, humans provided strategy and combat forces. The combination proved devastating to the hegemony. Yet victory came at a cost. Anna lost half her squadron at the Battle of Orion's Belt. Tom took a plasma blast, saving an Alliance medical vessel. Human blood stained the stars. After each battle, Alliance representatives watched in fascination as human soldiers mourned their dead, celebrated their victories, and prepared for the next fight, an emotional complexity most Alliance species had forgotten. "Why do you do it?" asked Lore, an Alliance engineer, as Anna repaired her fighter after a brutal engagement. "Why risk everything for people you barely know?" Anna thought of her daughter, of Earth, of the future they were protecting. Because someone has to, she answered simply. The final confrontation came at the hegemony's home system. Their remaining forces had consolidated, preparing for a last stand. Admiral Reed knew a frontal assault would cost too many lives. Instead, he proposed something unprecedented, a small strike team to infiltrate the hegemony command station. Hannah volunteered immediately. The mission was nearly suicidal. Even with Alliance cloaking technology, detection was likely. But Anna and her team infiltrated the station, while the main fleet distracted the hegemony forces. In the control center, surrounded by alien technology, Anna planted the quantum disruptors that would disable the hegemony fleet's weapons. As alarms blared and enemy soldiers converged, she thought of all those who had fallen, of the peaceful Alliance worlds that had never asked for war. Final disruptor activated. She reported through her comm. You'll have your window, Admiral. The UDF fleet surged forward as the hegemony weapons failed. Within hours, the war was over. 1 year later, humanity stood changed in the galactic community. No longer outsiders, they had become integral members of the Alliance, valued not just for their warrior spirit, but for the compassion that drove it. In recognition of their sacrifice, the Alliance established the Earth Guard, a joint defense force combining human determination with Alliance technology. At the dedication ceremony, Admiral Reed stood before representatives of all species, including reformed hegemony worlds now seeking Alliance membership. When the stars needed warriors, humanity answered, said the Alliance High Council leader. But you've shown us something more valuable than your might. You've reminded us what it means to fight for something greater than ourselves. Anna, now a commander in the Earth Guard, watched the proceedings with Lisa beside her, now old enough to understand what her mother had helped accomplish. Are we really that different? Lisa asked, looking at the diverse alien representatives. Anna smiled, thinking of Lore and the other Alliance friends she'd made, being so different, yet ultimately driven by the same desires for peace and security. No, she said, but sometimes it takes different strengths to build a better galaxy. Around them, human and alien talked, laughed, and planned together beneath the light of 1,000 stars, stars that shone more brightly for having been defended.